Our peer mentor program is something that we're really proud of. It's something that we love within the School of Business. We have almost 50 mentors who work with the incoming freshman students in our transitional seminar in the fall semester, and they also play a role with the transfer students. Ms. Tammy Dietrich teaches the transfer seminar, and she also works with me on the freshman seminar. So our peer mentors play a role in both courses, but primarily with the freshman seminar. So every incoming freshman student gets paired up with a mentor, and then the mentors lead teams in our Business 99 freshman orientation seminar course. So we're very lucky to have all of them. We think that this is a really important component because it really helps with your college experience and your transition to college. And so we wanted to make sure that you could hear from them and what their experiences have been like. So I'm going to have them introduce themselves. They'll tell a little bit about themselves, their major, their class year, and anything that they're involved in outside of peer mentors. So Zach, do you want to kick it off for us?
Sure. Hey everyone, my name is Zach. I'm a junior management major here at Tcnj. I am also minoring in pre-law. I started that up this past semester. And in addition to being a peer mentor, I'm also on the men's track and field team. And I am also a senator of business within student government.
Awesome. Thank you, Zach. Melanie, you want to go next?
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Melanie. I'm a senior accounting major with minors in marketing and information systems and technology. I'm from North Brunswick, New Jersey, so right near Rutgers. And at school, I'm on the varsity swim team. I've been involved with the peer mentorship program for 3 years now. I'm a research assistant and also within a member of a business fraternity. So I'm really excited you guys are all here, and I hope you guys get a lot out of this.
Thank you. Antonio.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. We want to thank you all for coming. I am Antoine Gamboa. I'm a senior finance major at the College of New Jersey. And outside of peer mentors, I am an hermano of La Unidad Latina, Lambda Upsilon Lambda Fraternity Incorporated, and I am part of the National Association of Black Accountants as well.
Perfect. Thank you. Annetta.
Hi, everyone. My name is Annetta. I am a sophomore management major with a concentration in human resource management, as well as a minor in Spanish. This is my first year in the peer mentor program. And in addition to that, I'm also the president of the Society for Human Resource Management, as well as a research assistant like Melanie. And I was a former senator of business in student government.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I have some questions for the mentors that I'm going to ask them, but I want everyone in here to feel comfortable also going ahead and asking. So if you want to unmute yourself and just ask a question, that is completely fine. This is a nice laid back environment. Ms. D and I are going to keep our eye on the chat. So you can see the little chat box down at the bottom of your Zoom bar. Please feel free to use that. And then we'll also bring those questions in for the mentors. So feel free at any time to ask a question. Just to kind of get things rolling, I'm going to ask the mentors, and y'all can just kind of hop around and take turns. What were you looking for in a college back when you were college hunting? And what made you land on TCNJ? So whoever wants to go first, Zach, take it away.
So for me, when I was applying to colleges, I knew I wanted to stay kind of close to home. You know, I'm close with my family and I have a pet cat. I really would have hated been too far away. So I am from New Jersey, obviously. So I looked around a lot of schools near here. Rutgers, TCNJ was an option, a couple schools of Pennsylvania. And so I knew I wanted to be close, and I knew I didn't want classes that were too large. I didn't want to get overwhelmed. So when I was close to between Rutgers and TCNJ personally, and Rutgers was just so much bigger for me. I was overwhelmed and kind of nervous just walking around that campus because it was, you know, the whole bus system. And I just loved visiting TCNJ and learning more about it, the small class sizes. And so you had a lot more of an intimate relationship with your professors. They knew you on a first name basis. It wasn't just these large lectures. And just I guess the companionship amongst people across campus. Everyone here is, you know, in the same boat. You meet a lot of great people. Everyone's really nice here. And everyone's just kind of help you be the best you could be.
Thank you. Who else wants to go? Melanie, you want to go ahead?
Anna, do you want to go or do you want me to go next?
You can go. I'll go after you. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, Zach kind of took my words from me, but definitely just the community feel at TCNJ. I mean, I'm not sure if any of you have been able to have the opportunity to visit, but TCNJs, we always joke that at TCNJ, you always know someone who knows someone. And that's kind of how like it feels like within the peer mentor programs. We're all involved in so many different clubs. We have so many common interests and activities that so you get to know people on a personal level. And I think because of that, you're able to be comfortable to get involved, whether it be within your classes, within other activities, and anything you're interested in doing. So TCNJ kind of has everything you could want in a small campus community feel.
Just to add on to that, I definitely agree with everything Zach and Melanie already said. And I chose TCNJ for the good academics, the strong academics, and I also wasn't exactly sure when I was applying how close to home I wanted to be. I knew I didn't want to be on the West Coast, really far away from my family, but I also didn't realize that I was choosing a school which is actually 5 minutes away from where I live. So getting to TCNJ is actually closer than going to my high school, which is kind of strange. It's not for everyone, but it's something that I've really grown to like and appreciate a lot. And in addition to that, the small class sizes allow you to know your professors and also your classmates really well, which is really beneficial when you are applying for internships. For example, you can always know that you can count on someone to refer you, or the environment is also very collaborative and all the students are very friendly. So it's always very easy to work on homework with someone or just ask questions.
Yeah, and just to wrap up more on everybody's point, but definitely the strong academics, TCNJ has that to offer, but also if you read articles about TCNJ, they're known as the best bang for your buck school because it's true. You know, you have in-state tuition if you're living in New Jersey. So TCNJ sets you up that when you're graduating college, you don't graduate with hundreds of thousands of dollars in loans. You know, it's easier on you, it's easier on your family. You can worry about your education, getting what you need. But then also, once you graduate, TCNJ has that tight-knit alumni network that when you're looking for jobs or looking for any opportunities, looking for ways to serve the community, TCNJ has all that to offer. So it puts you in that position to have access to all these resources that'll help you in the long run.
Thank you, everyone. All right. So again, if you have any questions as we're talking, just feel free to put them right in the chat. And then Ms. D and I will keep an eye on that and make sure that they get answered. So I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball. Did anything surprise you about TCNJ once you actually got here? Melanie, you want to go?
Yeah, so I did my research before coming to TCNJ school. You know, you always see the Forbes list, the Hot 100 like colleges, the bang for your buck list, and all that stuff. So I knew that TCNJ was really, really ranked well within business specifically, but I didn't know like how much the TCNJ name like actually means. Like we have such strong partnerships with companies, like for example, Johnson Johnson. I know all the big four accounting firms, some of the big financial firms, and basically anywhere you want to go, a lot of people with TCNJ work there. And I can tell you countless times that I have been at either a job interview, I've been out like at the grocery store, I've been everywhere, and people ask me, "Oh, where do you go?" And I say TCNJ, and they're like, "Wow, that's a great school," and they have all good things to say. So specifically, I was just really like impressed with how much for such a small school from New Jersey, how much weight it carries within these big companies.
Anybody else want to add anything?
Yeah, I can add. So as the panelists were saying, or fellow panelists, they were mentioning that a small class size that gets you an intimate relationship with the professors. And that's very true. You know, you can meet them one-on-one, scheduled time, but you also have to consider when you're part of an organization. So you're getting all these transferable skills when you're holding e-board positions, going to meetings, you know, you're developing yourself as a professional, but then also you have to consider when you have events and you invite these professionals to come out, think about how many people are in those events as well. It's a small event too, so you get to build a relationship with professionals and you get comfortable in that sense. So TCNJ has all that to offer, and these professionals, like they hear the College of New Jersey and they jump at the opportunity to present at these schools. So it's definitely something to consider as well. And something that caught me off guard for sure.
Cool, thanks. We just got a question in the chat about the MBA program, how that works. from someone who is going to be majoring in finance. Ms. D, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to jump in. So the MBA program just started 2 years ago. Actually, it's hard to believe it's been 2 years. We have our first graduating class this summer, and there's 2 tracks in the MBA program. So you can choose to do SIL, which is strategy, innovation, and leadership, or the other track is business analytics. They both have a common core, but then you also get a certificate in your particular area. We generally prefer that students graduate and get 2 years of work experience, but as long as you do an internship and you've kept up really competitive grades, you can apply for early admission to the MBA program if you want to. And there is some preference given to TCNJ students. I shouldn't say preference, I should say, you know, a little special treatment. You know, they'll waive your application fee. We obviously are very familiar with the coursework that you're coming in with. You know, you get some advanced advising. And the MBA director, I'll put her information in the chat box, but she welcomes any prospective students reaching out. If you're already seeing an MBA in your future, she's happy to talk to you now and help have that conversation about how it might fit into your path. If you have a specific question, let me know. But otherwise, as a finance major, James, I see you saying you're majoring in finance. You'd be welcome into either of those paths. And by the time you're through your TCNJ degree, we might even have more tracks for you to choose from.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Another question we have over here is, how have you grown since you've been at TCNJ, and how has the School of Business helped you in that? Have you been challenged? Like, what opportunities have you done? Things like that.
I could start off with that. So for me in high school, I was always kind of a shy person. You know, I kind of kept to myself. You know, I only did group work when I had to, and I just I got along is a good way to put it. And then going into college, you know, you're kind of strongly encouraged to work well in groups with others and kind of develop this leadership capability based on, you know, the classes you're taking and the people you're working with. And me personally, through just taking these business courses plus the other things I do, like student government and peer mentors, I've really kind of grown a voice for myself, much more comfortable speaking in public and in front of people, and like kind of just taking on this leadership role. If I'm in a group, you meet a group of people for the first time and you just have this assignment you have to work on, I'm very comfortable just getting to know them and working well with them, and it just got a lot easier for me to do these kind of things.
I can go on next with that. Definitely TCNJ. It's I'm always super motivated by the people I'm around. Whether it be all my like peers, I feel like they always challenge me to be better, to be more involved in everything I do, to get involved with internships and go to these different activities that I wouldn't otherwise go to. Like, I don't know if Mary touched upon it, but they have the School of Business runs certain activities, like they do like pop-up speakers, guest speakers from various different majors and like activities and different areas. And also a lot of companies come in and give them presentations and try to recruit. So there are countless times where other TCNJ students have been like, hey, like you should come with me to this event and stuff. So they always challenge me to come to different things. And then also my professors challenge me to be better in the classroom. Like, because you know these people on a personal basis, you can't really slide by any means. And they really want you to learn the content and gain a deeper understanding so you can be successful in your future career.
Yeah, to go off Melanie's point about having peers that motivate you and challenge you to go to these events, you know, it's all about building up each other's confidence. And that's key. But then also you have to think about Mary and Tammy, for example. You know, these two ladies, they're in charge of thousands of students and they have to worry about that weekly. But you saw Tammy just put in information for someone in the master's program for you as high school students. You know, that's something that you can jump on right away for free. You know, she's offering that as a way to help you all. So that's motivating for us to see as mentors, but then you as students, you know, if once you get to that position, you can be that person that helps make those connections for people. So TCNJ just teaches you to have that confidence to go out and just reach out to people, because we're all people at the end of the day. So you don't need to worry about status or positions. Just be yourself and be confident.
I would definitely have to agree with everything that everyone said already, but Zach's response is kind of similar to mine because I was kind of in the same exact situation. In high school, I was definitely on the quieter side, and then coming to college, I knew I wanted to become more extroverted and become more comfortable with public speaking and also leadership. So I took on various leadership roles. And as I said before, I'm currently a sophomore. So I've taken on 2 leadership roles, and then I've also joined the peer mentors as a member of the executive board for the upcoming year, which I'm really looking forward to. But in addition to just pure leadership opportunities, I think what Zach mentioned is perfect. In class, and especially in the business school classes, you have so many opportunities to work on group projects, whether those be papers or in the form of presentations, and just getting to know other people that you might have not met before and finding out how everyone works and solving different conflicts that might arise. If they do, they usually don't. Group projects are usually pretty smooth, but you definitely learn how to work with different personalities and work on different tasks and step up or take a more laid back approach and let someone else step up.
Great. Thank you, everybody. We just got a really, really great question in the chat. What is one thing you know now that you wish you knew when you were a freshman? Really good question. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, I'll start. Yeah, I that is a great question. So for me, I would say don't be afraid to reach out to professors or other people, just faculty members, anyone, whether you need help or just for that connection. Personally, I've taken classes obviously inside my major and also a lot outside my major. So I've gotten the pleasure to meet a lot of professors from a lot of different schools, and they're all great people, very knowledgeable. Everyone cares about their profession and what they're teaching. So I think reaching out to them is very useful just to form that connection, just to know another person that can maybe help you further your career and your knowledge. Or also if it's just a professor in class, maybe you're struggling and you could use the extra help. Professors have office hours at least once or twice a week, and they really do want to help you. So if you're struggling, you just have any simple questions, don't be afraid to reach out for help because they absolutely love to give you the help, and it could help you do a lot better later on too.
Who else wants to take this question?
I can, or actually, not Melanie, you got.
Hey, you got it, Tony. All you first.
All right. 2 things. One definitely is to not any study habits you thought were effective in high school. Some, of course, are important, but don't think that you can come in to college with the same study habits as high school. You know, it's not meant to scare you, but it's the truth. And you'll learn. It won't be everything poured on to you at once. You know, Tcnj is there to help you develop and, get you adjusted to that curriculum change. But that, and then also get involved as early as you can. Annette is a great example. As a sophomore, she's involved in all these different organizations already, and that's going to pay dividends down the line. So it's important to get involved, but then also, especially now in the pandemic, if you're jumping at opportunities to, go to a Tcnj training session in the summer early before you even apply, if you choose to, you get to meet other students that are in the same position. So that's, again, networking, staying on top of that, just jump at every opportunity, like Zach said.
So I was going to touch on, as a freshman, I definitely wish I took advantage of all the resources without Tcnj. Like, we were a really awesome tutoring center, which if you're struggling in class or you just want any more clarification and you don't want to go to your professor, it's a really great opportunity. It's completely free, which is nice. And they're super flexible because you're working with other students who have taken the class, they know the professor, and they can help you out. Tcnj also has a really great career center where they really inform you about what's going on, and they do like resume review and prep interviews. And I know even online, they've been super helpful with posting different opportunities for students. So I wish I definitely was a little more proactive my freshman year and took advantage of these different resources.
I'd also add that when you're a freshman, it's really important to be really open-minded about your classes and your extracurriculars and your major and college as a whole, honestly. It's a completely different experience than high school. And so I think coming in with an open mindset is really important. But also don't forget to work hard and also try to get to know as many people as you can, because everyone's trying to make friends, especially at the very beginning. So it's a great time to branch out and meet new people.
Thank you so much for that question, Anne Marie. That was a really great one. Just again, if you have any, you can just unmute yourself if you're comfortable and ask the question. Feel free to do that, or you can put them in the chat and we'll ask the mentors. So moving on a little bit with academics, what has been one of your favorite classes at TCNJ and why?
So my favorite has been my senior capstone for, I think all the business students have to take it, which is called Management 499, which is basically a seminar course where you read case studies and you work with your different different peers from different business majors in order to write like a case study and discuss it. So I thought this is really neat because not only did I love my professor, I had Professor Hahn, he was phenomenal, and he really got me thinking. But I also got to work with other business students. And I mean, as a senior, and I got to meet so many new people and got to learn a lot from them. So I'd say this is my favorite course I've taken.
My favorite course might have to be organizational behavior. No, I lied. Business law. I loved. I guess I'm kind of more biased for this because I loved business law. It was a really interesting class because it's not. It's focusing on the business aspect of law. So you kind of learn very basic law terminology and ideas, and you kind of just see what I guess legal factors have to play into kind of owning this business and things like that. And personally, my professor was a practicing lawyer, so it was really cool to kind of get that her personal experience and what she sees every day as a business lawyer. And I actually enjoyed the class so much that I ended up minoring in pre-law, and I'm considering law school from that. So I enjoyed just sitting there and getting lectured at, just learning about these new ideas. And it also helped improve my writing a lot because we learned business writing throughout TCNJ, but then also legal writing is a whole nother way to understand these different kind of briefs and other types of writing pieces. And it helped improve me a lot both as a student and a person.
For me, I've had a few favorite classes, but one of my favorite classes was definitely Fin 310, fundamental investments, which I took last semester because that was my learning style. I like a lot of hands-on learning, and that had a lot of that. We had an ongoing project regarding regression, so that's measuring how good a company's financials are and how good they will be in the future. So this class allowed us to use that in a project. Obviously not responsible for real money, but then that plus there was a course that you had to take. It was extra credit too, but it gave you certification on LinkedIn in linear regression. So again, that's adding certification, that's boosting your own resume, and you're still learning at the same time. So I really enjoyed that about the class.
And my favorite class was Management 310, which is cross-cultural management. It's a class in which we learned about how different cultures, how people from different countries respond to different things in businesses. For example, some people have a higher power distance, which is, for example, that some professors, for example, only ask that you call them by dear. Like when you write an email, you say, "Dear Professor so-and-so," whereas my professor actually only goes by his first name. I'm not comfortable calling him by his first name, so I still go with the full title. But that was definitely something interesting that I picked up on. And at the end of the class, we did a group project, which was a training program for an expatriate, which is someone who is sent from, for example, the US to go work abroad. So our expatriate went to France. And so we developed a comprehensive training program and a presentation that we would present to that employee's company in order to prepare them to successfully assimilate to French culture, having never been to France before.
Great, thank you everyone. So we have a question in the chat from Daniel, who's going to be on the soccer team, and we do have some student athletes with us, so that's good. So what is it like to balance athletics and class? Zach, Melanie?
Okay, I'll start. So for me, awesome soccer team, awesome. We have a great soccer team here and a lot of cool guys there. So I think I'll have a lot of fun. But for me, I'm on the track team, and so each team has their own different practice time each day. It's usually pretty consistent. For track, we're at 3:30 every day, and so you'll have a heads up. Your schedule will be kind of made around your practice schedule for classes. I mean. So like you'll know like, okay, I can't choose classes between, let's say your practice at noon every day. Don't choose any classes between 12 and 3, which is usually pretty easy to do because you have a lot of options. Generally, the classes are from 9:30 to 12:30, and then again from about 2 to 4, and then 5 to 8-ish. So you have a lot of options when you want to take your classes. So you could always fit your schedule around your practice schedule. And all the coaches prioritize academics over athletics. So like if you ever have to miss practice or a game or anything like that for maybe a test or any other academic reasons, your coaches, all the coaches are very cool with it. You just let them know, to say, okay, no problem. You just, this is what you'll practice this time instead, or this is what you do, but focus on academics first. So it's never been a big issue for me. They both kind of work well together and everyone's really cooperative.
Yeah, I think Zach said it all pretty much. Your professors are also very willing to work with you as long as you communicate. So I definitely just keep in close contact with your professors, keep them in the loop about what's going on. And also they're super supportive. Like they always like sometimes they'll like follow your sports, they'll ask how you were and stuff. And they're more than willing to work with you. So just being in communication with your coach and your professors and work ahead and you'll be fine.
Got it too. All right, so I'm going to jump in and just answer the question about class size. And thank you for Zach and Melanie jumping in about your sports perspectives. So the average class size in the School of Business is 27. When you're a freshman, if you're in more seminar-based classes, you might have classes that go as high as 32. But if you walk around our building, you will see that our classes can't fit more than that. And nor do we ever want to be that kind of big institution where you're just kind of lost in a lecture hall. So you're going to find that even your largest class isn't more than 32. So the average is 37 and then, 27. And then as you go through your years at TCNJ, you'll notice that in your senior year, if you have some of these capstone classes, like the one Melanie was referring to, those are like 25 or less. Like they get a little smaller when you get up into your senior year. And then I noticed we also had a question about, has anyone had any internship experience? And if so, what was it like? And how did TCNJ help you get the internship? So do we have someone that wants to jump in on that? Antonia? Oh, okay.
You go for it, Antonia. Okay, I guess I have to go for this time. First time. Okay. So I'm an accounting major, but I came in actually open options. So I had no idea what I wanted to do. And that's okay. You guys don't, even though you're in a major, super easy to switch. Basically your freshman year, you come in and you take all the 201 classes, which are the intro to finance, intro to marketing, intro to management. And you kind of can get a feel for what classes you like. And I'm pretty sure like up to your, I'd say mid sophomore year up to junior year, you're kind of taking like your general courses like within business because your requirements. So even if you want to switch and you're not, and you find something you like better, you won't be off track. But basically, so I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted. So I took all the intro classes. And then TCNJ, someone sent me an email from the School of Business and was like, hey, you should apply for this. It was called an externship. At Johnson & Johnson, which is located very close by. TCNJ's great connections. And I was like, okay, cool. I know J&J, they make my shampoo, they make all this different stuff, make pharmaceuticals, knew the name. I was like, okay, I should go to it. It was talking about accounting and finance. Ended up absolutely loving what I felt when I met the people, loved the company Credo and all that stuff. And from that externship experience, I was able to network and I was able to get an internship after my sophomore summer there. So after my sophomore summer, I was a commercial finance intern supporting the wound closure team. So what I specifically was working on is that J&J makes like needles when you're stitching people and like the glue. So I actually was able to do like data analytics and financial analysis, which I knew nothing about prior to, but TCNJ is very good with teaching you technology. They're good at with like technology, how to use Excel and different platforms. And they also taught me like very well, like just the different fundamentals of business, which really, really helped. So I entered there my sophomore year, absolutely loved it, and made a great connections there. A lot of alumni worked there, which was really cool because we had a lot in common. And then last summer, I interned at PricewaterhouseCoopers, which is a Big Four accounting firm. And that was a little change because of the pandemic. We couldn't be in person, we were online. But definitely, I felt like I had a very, very good background at in accounting and all areas of business because they kind of all at the end of the day mix together and stuff. And I actually got that because when you're in certain majors, they make you take courses where basically all they do is they have different companies come in every week to talk to you about the different opportunities and to hand out pamphlets and be like, hey, you should work here. So I applied through that and I got an internship through that. And from that, I actually got a full-time job working next year. So I'm very, very lucky that TCNJ had these opportunities available. Like literally, I got an email or through word of mouth or my classes, these opportunities presented itself in my case.
Yeah, so jumping off Melanie's point, again, she's absolutely correct with these career fairs. And then she mentioned an accounting course you may have if you're an accounting major, that these firms do come in on Wednesday mornings, send 2, 3 of their staff, and they give a presentation, and then at the end they stick around, hand out business cards, shake hands, what have you. So that's really useful. But then again, also there's the other side on the networking side, right? So I had an internship 2 years ago, a tax internship at HBK. It's a local firm, and I had a connect from a friend that he actually worked there. He went to college with my brother. So I applied through there, but then again, like I mentioned before, the alumni network, there was 2 alumni that worked at the firm. So, and they actually ended up interviewing me when it came to it. So again, that helped that we had that TCNJ connection right off the bat. And then right now where I work, Mercadian, I currently do a lottery internship. I got that through my best friend. So me and him have done business to a certain extent with our fraternities, right? So we set up meetings and we coordinated events, got the supplies right? So that referral, his referral was strong enough in itself. He's a TCNJ student, he's working there, he's already proved himself. So he could just recommend a friend just like that. So again, building on that network, branching out, there's various ways to get an internship. You should definitely not be worried about it. And if you're really interested, Tcnj will help you out, no doubt.
I have not had an internship right now, but I should say I haven't had an internship yet, but I actually do have an internship lined up for this coming summer. So I will be a total rewards intern at iCIMS, which is a HR talent software company headquartered in Holmdel, New Jersey. And so I didn't get this internship through TCNJ actually. I got it through LinkedIn, but I will say that TCNJ does have Handshake, which is a platform very similar to LinkedIn, which makes it really easy to find either internship or job postings. And I also use the career services resources to review my resume and to do mock interviews in the past. So TCNJ definitely does have a lot of interview resources, which help you when you're going to apply for internships. And the career fairs are always also great.
Yeah, just going off what Aneta said, I'm a junior, so I should have done an internship last summer, but when COVID hit, it was really tough to find places looking for interns because they, laying off employees on their own. It was a lot. But I'm currently in the process of applying to a bunch now, and I'm in the second phase for our Johnson & Johnson. So they accepted me through so far, and I'm kind of just waiting on the next response. I'm hoping to get an internship there. This is a great company. But like Aneta said, and everyone else did too, there's a lot of great options here for finding internships. There's a career fair, LinkedIn, Handshake, and then just through Business 99 and Business 100, which is the classes us as peer mentors help out with, you guys learn all about creating a resume and creating your professional LinkedIn pages and interview etiquette, how to dress, things like that. So you'll definitely be prepared when the time comes, and you'll have a lot of resources to help you figure out what you want to do and where you want to go.
Tammy and I are very, just to add on to what Zach said about 99 and 100, and the accounting students in place of the Business 100 course, which is the professional development seminar, they take a class called Sophomore Career Planning. And then Tammy does a section of Business 99, which I mentioned earlier, for the transfer students, because some of our transfer students are coming in and they might be juniors. And we want to make sure that you get that professional preparation early on as soon as you get to campus, because you'd be applying for internships even earlier. Tammy, do you want to say anything about your transfer section?
Well, I'd be happy to. Actually, I have a question just because I'm curious. Is anyone on here tonight a transfer student? You could type like yes in the chat or use the raise hand. Just curious. All right, I don't see anybody. But if you were to come in as a transfer, obviously we want you to have that same welcome to TCNJ and make sure you're aware of everything so that you don't get to your last semester and be like, gosh, why didn't somebody tell me that in the beginning? Or I could have taken advantage of all these opportunities if I'd only known. So Business 99 that you take either as a freshman or as a transfer student, we just make sure that we equip you as well as possible to succeed. But if anyone is a transfer student and wants to reach out to me personally, of course, I'm happy to make it as smooth a process as possible. So you can, and that goes for any of us on this call. We're all happy to be contacted personally if you have any questions or you want to follow up. So, but thanks, Mary.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you had a chance for if we had any transfers, or if there are some transfer students who go back and watch the recording. So everybody. And then for the freshman students, you have your freshman seminar that I spoke about, the transitional seminar. And then in the spring is when you do your professional development seminar course in Business 100. So we're right now we're prepping to do mock interviews in that class. Zach is helping out with us with the mock interviews. I don't know, is anybody else doing mock interviews? Anetta's doing them. Yeah. And Antonio. Antonio's helped out in Business 100. He came in with NABA and did a whole presentation. We talked about personal branding and professional communication. We do LinkedIn profiles. We just finished bringing alumni panels back in for all the different majors. I always like to say that one of our best resources at TCNJ are our students and our alumni. We have a really strong student support system in place where students really help each other succeed and want to help each other succeed. So we're very, very fortunate for that. So I need to give the mentors a little shout out there because they really help build that community at TCNJ and at the School of Business. It's really amazing as an administrator to be able to be a part of that with them. We have another question in the chat. At what point in your college career can you typically start applying for internships?
I can take this one first. So I think you can honestly apply for internships and co-ops, which are popular at TCNJ with Johnson & Johnson especially. Even when you're a freshman, I know I applied for internships and also co-ops when I was a freshman, and I actually ended up getting an offer from Johnson & Johnson for a co-op, but I ended up declining it because it was for the past semester. And when I got the offer, I wasn't sure if classes would be online or if the co-op would happen in person or online. So just that uncertainty and also committing to working 40 hours a week while only being a first semester sophomore was a little unsettling for me. So I think it's definitely possible to get opportunities as a freshman, but a lot of employers really prefer to have sophomores or juniors going into the next school year in terms of internships.
Yeah, to Anetta's point, definitely more internships are geared towards sophomore and junior year, you know, when you have a little base of core curriculum behind you, but definitely don't be discouraged though. That doesn't mean at career fair as a freshman, you know, you sit it out and you don't go. You absolutely go and introduce yourself to these companies because that's just a way to get your foot in the door. They may not have something for you right away, but okay, now you have a mentor. Now you have somebody you can reach out to and they can give you advice when applying. They can give you advice on the company. So once you get to TCNJ, I would say is the best time to start branching out and applying yourself. But again, what Annetta said, do consider that some companies don't have opportunities for freshmen, but that's okay.
All right. So again, keep the questions coming in the chat, or you can unmute yourself. We're happy to keep answering those. In the meantime, I'm going to ask the mentors, what have been some of your favorite memories or most memorable experiences at TCNJ?
I'll break the ice with this one. For me, some of my favorite memories are probably just spending time with a lot of the great people that I've met, like through all the organizations I've done. So, I'm going to mostly focus on track here. All my teammates are some of the closest friends I have in my entire life, and even though I've only known them for about 3 years now, and just being able to spend time with them. Some of them I have classes with them, working out with them, and just spending our free time together when we can. It's just, you make some great memories, you meeting some great people, and just also kind of networking in its own way, just meeting all these people and then through them meeting others. And I just have to say, just kind of, getting to learn more about myself and these people.
I'll say one of my favorite memories that it was actually outside of TCNJ, but it was one of the first community service opportunities that I did with my fraternity once we became members. So at my fraternity, I was actually the founding line. So it was me and 3 others that were the founding members. But there was a close by opportunity at a Special Olympics, and it was a gymnastics event. So, we helped set up the games for the children. And then at the end, there was a whole trophy ceremony. We took pictures behind the poster boards, the 1, 2, 3 levels. So that was just a really good time, able to make those kids' days. So that was definitely a good memory for me at TCNJ for sure.
Okay, I'll go next. So, my favorite memory within the School of Business itself is TCNJ runs a lot of competitions and stuff, like case competitions and other things where you can get involved. And it's kind of what you do in your major, but kind of like what you don't. And it's more practical, applying what you learned. So I did my sophomore year, this one company hosted this case competition where you got to team up with like 5 other students, and kind of you had to present to a panel of 6 of their employers, 6 of the company employers and stuff, and got to work on that. So that was kind of cool because I just went with one of my friends and we formed a group with the other students. I didn't know who they were, and now they're really great friends, and we had a really, really fun time. And it's a great opportunity to put on your resume. So I'd say take advantage of those different opportunities from the School of Business.
One of my favorite memories would also be an opportunity to travel through a School of Business. Last February, I went to PwC, which is PricewaterhouseCoopers, which is where Melanie is going to be working after graduation. And I went there for a full-day conference known as Explore, and this was at the New York City headquarters. And so it was a day of meeting different professionals who work at the company, and also learning how my interests and what I'm studying can turn into an internship or a full-time offer. So that was really interesting. And it was my first time ever having interaction with someone outside of the classroom in a professional setting.
Great. We have another question in the chat. What clubs or fraternities are most beneficial for business students? So I'm going to put a link to our School of Business clubs and organizations, so everyone can kind of go through them if you'd like to. And then to our mentors, do you have any suggestions?
So I am a member of Delta Sigma Pi, which is a professional business fraternity. I joined my freshman year, so I've been in it for now 3.5 years. And TCNJ has a bunch of business fraternities. There's DSP, there's AKSI, and PSE, and it's a co-ed fraternity, so it's with boys and girls. And it's a great opportunity to network and meet and make friends with people who are really super motivated. They're all business students, so it's kind of cool because you have a lot of classes with these people and stuff. So I've met some of the greatest role models at TCNJ and the greatest friends through this. So I highly recommended checking it out if you're interested.
I would say definitely what Melanie said, the business fraternities are huge. But in terms of clubs, National Association of Black Accountants, which I'm a part of, they're really good for accounting majors. IMASC, again, another accounting club. Women in Business, which Tammy oversees. You know, all these clubs and organizations, they have these conferences, and it's not only about networking, because that's a huge part, but you get to meet students from all across the country. I think by next fall, we will be good. We'll be back to normalcy to an extent, but you know, these conferences are going to start popping up again, and this is just a chance to branch out, meet students from all over the country. So that's beneficial. But then again, when it comes to being on campus and running the organization behind the scenes, you know, that's a lot of transferable skills that you're going to need when you get to the professional level. So any club or organization being a part of is beneficial at TCNJ, I would say, because you're going to learn something that down the line you're going to realize, wow, you know, at the time I didn't know that this was that important, but you'll realize very quickly.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I'll throw it out there, just being a peer mentor too, like we do. It's a great organization we're part of. I believe we really do play a big role in helping you guys as freshmen coming up. And for us, it helps us grow too. It teaches us public speaking and leadership, and kind of help kind of managing and leading these small teams and motivating others, which I think is really helpful. And also we have the opportunity to work closely with Mary and Tammy, who both know so much about the School of Business. If you ever have any questions, they're the ones you want to reach out to, and it's nice being able to work with them on a closer level too. So I think peer mentors is great. You meet a lot of great people too.
I would also have to agree that I really like peer mentors. I think it's a great way to give back, because all of us were in the same position you are in, coming in as freshmen 1, 2, or 3 years ago. And so really having someone as your mentor who's able to relate to the same positions you're in is really helpful from a student perspective. And then in terms of other clubs, if you look through the whole list of all the clubs the School of Business has, you'll pretty much find one for every major. And I wouldn't say one's better than the other. I think it's really all about what interests you, and just having some kind of involvement is definitely really beneficial to your overall experience.
Okay, so we only have a few more minutes left. So let's end with, and feel free to put in a question in the chat. I don't want to take that away, but for now, let's talk about what advice would all of you give someone who is currently college hunting, who's in their college search process? What advice would you give them?
I can start. Definitely what we said before earlier, like we were hitting on all the points that for me personally that I was looking for in a school. You know, education, of course, is priority, opportunity, diversity, price, you know, it's very important. And then also too, when you do a visit or have a parent or guardian, definitely ask questions, and then also consider how they feel too. You know, if this is something that they're happy to see you in, they think that you'll be a good fit for it, that's also something you should consider when you're college hunting, because they want the best for you too. And if they see that this is a place that they feel you can blossom, then, you know, for sure, definitely consider it. But keep your search open. Definitely ask questions, as many questions as you need. Contact us with anything, but that's what I suggest for a college search, and just always be hungry and learn as much as you can for sure.
Yeah, and going off of that, just know what you want to get from college. You know, if you're the kind of person you want to go for a specific type of major or field of study you know you're interested in, find the school that can give you that opportunity the best they can. Like I know TCNJ, I think it still is. When I applied, was the second best business school in New Jersey or something like at our public school, and it's very well ranked. And I completely agree with how it's ranked. I think it's a great school, and I'm learning a lot here. So if you want to get something out of that, specifically with your major, know what you're looking for. Or if you're an athlete, you want to find a school with a certain division of athletics or a certain sport that you might enjoy, find just within that area. So kind of know what you want to get out of college and do a lot of research. Definitely go on tours, because there's nothing better than actually getting the feel of the college yourself by walking around there. And you'll get tours and you'll get to meet people who actually go there and get their perspective, and it's really helpful.
So I would say advice to freshmen looking for schools. Give yourself options with everything you do. So TCNJ is great because there's a lot of options within the business school. And there's also options if you, let's say, find out business isn't for you, you want to find out what you're going to be happy with in the long run and what's going to be the best investment in your future and bring you like the most joy. So put yourself in a position where you have plenty of options.
I think the only thing I would have to add is I know you always hear about looking for a best fit school. So I think it's really important to make sure that wherever you end up, and hopefully that is TCNJ, that it's a place you'll feel comfortable and you'll really be able to see yourself engaging with professors and also students, and a place you'll just feel comfortable in general. So that's something I would say.
Thanks, everyone. All right, so any last words from our mentors for our attendees?
Yeah, so good luck in your college search, and definitely stay connected with all of us. We look forward to seeing you in the fall.
Yeah, I'd echo what Tony said. Just good luck with everything. I know this is a super challenging decision, especially under your circumstances, but whatever you decide is going to be a good decision. I'll put my email in the chat if you guys need any clarification or if you need me to connect with someone or you want more of a student perspective. I'm more than willing to give my honest feedback. So.
Why don't we all, if everyone could we put just so you can connect with us, we can put our emails in the chat so that if you want to touch base, if you have any questions, or maybe somebody said something that was interesting to you or you wanted to find out a little bit more, you could reach out directly. So we can all get our emails in the chat. We did get one last question. Outside of class time, what is life like at around TCNJ? At and around, sorry, I said that weird. Outside of class time, what is life like at and around TCNJ?
I'll start off with that. So one thing about TCNJ that I really enjoy is you will make a good group of friends right off the bat. I lived in the towers freshman year, so I became good friends with almost my entire floor of 50, 60 people. And so you have a bunch of different groups of people that might like to do different things. So maybe you have a couple free hours and you want to sit inside, play video games. You'll always have people that want to sit inside with you. You want to go outside and, I don't know, play frisbee or spike ball out in front of the towers. Always have people that want to go outside and hang out with you. People that just like to explore, people that like to just sit around and do work or play games, anything. You're gonna so many people with so many different interests, and you'll have the opportunity to do any of them you want, whether it's through clubs or just meeting people that you connect with.
I'll say too, definitely. One thing that did surprise me too is how nice the campus was and how many different options you have. You have the student center, you can go hang out like Zach said with your friends in dorms, but then also too, there's people that have houses off campus. That's where I live right now. I live off campus. So if you have friends, you can always just hang out if you don't want to be on campus. And if you're not feeling campus, you could just go to Rowan. Rowan's 45 minutes away. You can go to Rutgers. Rutgers 45 minutes away. So you're close by to all these colleges, but then you still have TCNJ. You still have your community too, which is more important than that. And it just makes life easier, life more fun at TCNJ for sure, is having those close friends, close relationships, and just being able to do regular things, basic things, going to study, going to eat. It really helps the college experience for sure.
Okay, I think that about wraps it up for us. So thank you so much for everyone who came to spend this rainy, dreary Wednesday night with us. We appreciate you being with us. And thank you to our peer mentors for being here. Tammy and I really appreciate everything that you do and that you spent the time with us tonight. So thank you so much. I hope everyone has a great night. You can see our emails are in the chat, so please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Good luck to all of you. Take care. Have a good one.